Her name was Priya, 17 years old, top of her class in math. Using ChatGPT to study for her chemistry exam, she typed a question, got an answer, memorized it, failed the test. The AI was not wrong exactly, but it explained things in a way built for someone else, someone older, someone with different context, someone with a completely different learning background. And nobody had told her to question it. That story is more common than most people realize. Requirement. Every AI tool used across its system must pass a formal bias and equity review, all 1.1 million students, before a single AI tool touches a classroom. Most people read that and thought, interesting policy story, but buried inside it is something far more useful. Because what New York is building is essentially a quality filter, a framework for evaluating whether an AI tool actually works for the person using it, or whether it works better for someone else entirely. And you do not need to be in New York to use it. You do not need to be a student at all. This applies to anyone using AI to learn anything, anywhere in the world. Let me explain exactly what they're looking for, and then let me show you how to apply it yourself. The NYC review process evaluates 3 core things. First, how was the model trained? Second, does it produce different results for different groups of people? Third, does it explain its reasoning in a way the end user can actually follow? Those 3 questions sound institutional, but think about what they mean for you personally. When you use ChatGPT to learn something new, whose version of that knowledge are you getting? Is it calibrated for your level, your context, your goals? Or is it giving you a textbook answer built for a hypothetical average person? This is the part most people never think to ask. AI models are trained on vast amounts of human writing, but human writing is not evenly distributed. It skews towards certain languages, certain education levels, certain cultural assumptions about what knowledge looks like. That is not a conspiracy, that is just math. And it means that 2 people can ask the same question and get answers that feel equally confident, but work completely differently depending on who is asking. The student in Lagos, the nurse in Manila, the career changer in Calgary, the retiree in Glasgow, all getting different value from the same tool, often without knowing it. Hold that thought. Because here is where this gets genuinely useful. If you apply the same 3-part framework NYC is using, you can immediately improve your results from any AI learning tool you already have access to, and it costs nothing. Step 1, train the tool to know who you are. Before you ask any AI a learning question, tell it your context. Not just what you want to know, but who you are, what you already know, what you are trying to do with this information. Instead of asking, what is machine learning? Try, I am a small business owner with no tech background. Explain machine learning in terms of decisions I actually make running a store. Keep it practical and skip the jargon. The output changes completely, the relevance jumps, the retention improves. That one shift alone makes you a dramatically better AI learner. Most people using AI to study have never done this. If you are finding this useful, consider subscribing for more practical AI insights every week. Step 2, test for bias in the answer. This sounds technical. It is actually simple. After you get an answer from any AI, ask it one follow-up question. Ask, who might disagree with this explanation and why? This is exactly what the NYC review is testing for, whether the tool produces one version of truth or acknowledges that knowledge has perspectives. A good AI tool will immediately offer counterpoints, multiple frameworks, alternative interpretations, a weaker one will repeat itself, or hedge without adding new information. Perplexity AI is particularly good at this because it surfaces sources alongside its answers. You can see where the information comes from. You can evaluate it yourself. You are not just receiving a confident-sounding answer. You're actually learning how to think about the topic. That is a different kind of education entirely. Step 3, demand explanations, not just answers. This is the deepest part of the NYC framework. The review requires that AI tools explain their reasoning in a way the end user can follow, not just produce outputs, but teach the thinking behind them. Most people use AI tools like vending machines. Put question in, get answer out, move on. But that approach does not actually build knowledge, it builds dependency. The people who get real lasting value from AI learning tools are the ones who ask one extra question every single time after any explanation. Ask. Now explain the reasoning step by step as if I need to teach this to someone else tomorrow. That prompt activates a completely different response mode. The AI slows down, it structures its thinking, it forces clarity, and you, as the person reading it, actually absorb it, not just consume it. This is how you build real knowledge using free tools, not just a folder full of AI outputs you never look at again. Now let us talk about what this means for 3 different types of people. If you're a student or self-directed learner, this framework turns ChatGPT or Perplexity into a personalized tutor, one that adjusts to your level, challenges your assumptions, and teaches you how to think, not just what to think. If you're a working professional trying to learn a new skill, this is how you compress months of learning into weeks, by telling the AI exactly who you are and what you need, and then testing every answer instead of accepting it passively. If you're a parent helping a child with homework, these 3 steps give you something to teach them, not just what to search for, but how to evaluate what comes back. That skill will serve them for the rest of their lives. The NYC policy is being read as a governance story, a compliance story, a tech regulation story. But what it actually is, underneath all of that, is a public acknowledgement that AI tools are not neutral. They are built by people, trained on data, and they work better for some people than others. That truth is not a reason to avoid them. It is a reason to use them more deliberately. The gap between someone using AI randomly and someone using AI with a deliberate framework, that gap is widening fast. The student who just accepts every answer and the student who contextualizes, challenges, and demands structured reasoning are not getting the same education anymore, even from the exact same free tool. Think about what that means at scale. Every year, millions of students will use AI to study. Most will use it the vending machine way. A small fraction will use the approach this video just described. That fraction will retain more, learn faster, develop stronger critical thinking, and they will carry that advantage into every career, business, or life decision that follows. New York City just tried to mandate that advantage for 1.1 million kids. You can apply it to yourself today, for free, right now. The 3 steps again. Quick version. Tell the AI who you are before asking anything. Ask who disagrees and why after every answer. Demand step-by-step reasoning you could teach to someone else. That is the entire framework. It works in ChatGPT. It works in Perplexity. It works in any AI tool you already have open on your phone. Priya did not fail her chemistry test because AI was bad. She failed because nobody told her how to use it well. Now you know. What part of your life could you learn faster with this approach? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Chapters. 0 o'clock. Hook 045, the NYC story. Nobody fully explained. 2:15, what a bias review actually checks. For 4 o'clock, how to apply this framework yourself. 6 o'clock. The 3 AI learning habits that change everything. 8 o'clock. Final thoughts.